Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the IELTS Vocabulary Podcast. I'm Roy.
And I'm Lily. Today, we're diving into a super important topic, the natural world, specifically environment and ecology. We have a fantastic list of words for you, perfect for expanding your vocabulary for the IELTS exam or just for everyday conversations.
That's right, Lily. These are words you'll hear and read often, and understanding them will really help you communicate about global issues. Let's jump straight into our first word. Our first word is climate. Lily, what does climate mean?
Well, climate usually refers to the long-term weather patterns of a region, not just one day's weather. It can also mean the general atmosphere or situation.
Exactly. Our first example sentence is, the climate in our city has become much warmer in recent years. This clearly shows how it refers to long-term weather changes.
Yes, and related to that, our second sentence is, different plants need different types of climate to grow well. For example, a cactus needs a dry climate, but a banana tree needs a tropical, wet climate.
That makes sense. Now, for the other meaning, our third sentence is, the new manager created a positive climate for teamwork in the office. Here, climate doesn't mean weather at all.
No, it means the feeling or atmosphere. So a positive work environment, which is great. So climate can be about the weather or the mood of a place.
Next up, we have environment. Lily, could you tell us about this word?
Environment means the surroundings or conditions in which a person, animal, or plant lives or operates. It can be natural or human-made.
Our first sentence uses it in the natural sense. Protecting the natural environment is important for everyone. This refers to our forests, oceans, and air.
Absolutely. It's about taking care of our planet. And our second example sentence uses the other meaning. The school provides a good learning environment for students. Here, it's about the conditions that help students learn.
Right, like quiet classrooms, good teachers, and helpful classmates. What about the third sentence?
Our third sentence brings us back to nature, but for living creatures. Animals need a safe environment to live and find food. So a fox needs a forest environment to hunt and build its den.
Got it. So environment is about what's around us, both natural and social. Very clear. Our next word is species. Lily, what does species mean?
Species refers to a group of animals or plants that are able to breed with each other and produce offspring. It's a fundamental unit in biology.
I see. So there are many different species of birds in this forest, means there are many different kinds of birds, like eagles, sparrows, and owls.
Exactly. They are all birds, but they are different species. And our second sentence is, scientists have discovered a new species of fish in the deep ocean. This is always exciting news, isn't it?
It is. It reminds us how much we still don't know about our planet. And the third example, the zoo is working hard to protect endangered species.
That's very important. Endangered species are those at risk of disappearing forever, like giant pandas or tigers. So species helps us talk about different groups of living things.
Now we have ecology. This sounds like a scientific word.
It is. Ecology is the scientific study of how living things, including people, interact with each other and with their physical surroundings.
Our first sentence makes that clear. Ecology is the study of how living things interact with their environment. So it's about the connections.
Yes, like how a rabbit eats grass and a fox eats the rabbit, all those relationships. Our second example is, the delicate ecology of the coral reef is threatened by rising ocean temperatures. Here, ecology refers to the whole system of living things and their environment in the reef.
That's a sad example, but a very important one. And the third sentence, She decided to study ecology at university because of her love for nature?
That's a great choice for a university major. If you care about the planet, it means she wants to become an expert in understanding these natural systems. So ecology can be the science itself or the system it studies.
Next, we have conservation. What does conservation mean, Lily?
Conservation means the protection of animals, plants, and natural resources, and the careful management of natural resources to prevent their loss or waste.
So our first example, wildlife conservation efforts are essential to protect rare animals, means we are actively working to save animals like tigers or rhinos.
Exactly. It's about saving them from disappearing. And our second sentence relates to resources. Water conservation is important, especially in dry areas. This means using water wisely, not wasting it.
Like turning off the tap while brushing your teeth? Now, the third sentence is a bit different. The museum focuses on the conservation of historical artifacts.
That's right. Here, conservation means keeping old things like ancient pottery or paintings safe and in good condition so they don't get damaged or lost. So it's about protecting and preserving things.
Now for habitat, what's a habitat?
The habitat is the natural home or environment of an animal, plant, or other organism. It's where they normally live.
So the polar bear's natural habitat is the Arctic, means the Arctic is where polar bears naturally live and thrive.
Precisely. It's their perfect home. Our second sentence shows a problem. Deforestation destroys the habitat of many jungle animals. When trees are cut down, animals like monkeys or jaguars lose their homes.
That's a huge problem. And the third example sentence, our garden provides a great habitat for bees and butterflies, is a positive one.
Yes, if you plant flowers that bees and butterflies like, your garden becomes a good place for them to live, find food, and lay eggs. So a habitat is simply where something lives naturally.
Let's talk about pollution. I think many people know this word, but what exactly is it?
Pollution is the presence in or introduction into the environment of a substance or thing that has harmful or poisonous effects. It makes something dirty or unhealthy.
So air pollution is a serious problem in many large cities, means the air is dirty and unhealthy to breathe.
That's right, often from cars and factories. Our second sentence is factories often cause water pollution by releasing waste into rivers. This hurts fish and makes the water unsafe.
And it can affect people too. Our third example, the government is trying to reduce pollution from cars. This might mean encouraging electric cars or public transport.
Exactly. So pollution is about harmful substances making our environment unhealthy. A very important word to understand.
Next, a longer word, biodiversity. What does this mean?
Biodiversity is a combination of biological and diversity. It means the variety of life on Earth, including all the different plants, animals, fungi, and microorganisms, as well as the ecosystems they form.
So our first sentence, protecting biodiversity is crucial for the health of our planet, means ensuring we have many different kinds of life forms.
Yes, because each one plays a role. Our second example, rainforests are rich in biodiversity with millions of different species. They are like huge natural libraries of life.
That's a great way to put it. And the third sentence, loss of biodiversity can lead to unstable ecosystems?
It means if too many species disappear, the whole natural system can become weak and break down. So biodiversity is about how many different types of life there are.
Following biodiversity, we have ecosystem. How are these related?
An ecosystem is a community of living organisms interacting with their non-living environment, like the soil, water, and air. Biodiversity is part of an ecosystem.
I see. So a forest is a complex ecosystem where trees, animals, and fungi all interact, means everything in the forest works together.
Exactly. They depend on each other. Our second sentence is coral reefs are important marine ecosystems. These are underwater ecosystems with many types of fish and sea creatures.
They're beautiful and important. And the third example, pollution can seriously damage an ecosystem's balance.
That means if pollution enters an ecosystem, it can upset the way things work, harming plants and animals and making the system unhealthy. So an ecosystem is a complete natural community.
Next up is renewable. This sounds like something that can be made new again.
That's a good way to think about it, Roy. Renewable describes a natural resource or source of energy that is not depleted by use because it is naturally replaced or replenished.
So our first example sentence, solar and wind power are examples of renewable energy sources, means we can use them again and again without running out.
Precisely. The sun and wind are always there. And our second sentence, it's important to use renewable resources to protect the planet. This includes things like timber from managed forests, too.
Right, as long as we plant new trees. And the third sentence, this company aims to use 100% renewable energy by 2030.
That's a fantastic goal. It means they want to power their operations completely with energy from sources like solar, wind, or hydropower, which are naturally replenished. So renewable means it doesn't run out.
Following renewable, we have sustainable. How do these two words connect?
Sustainable means able to be maintained at a certain rate or level. Especially it's about avoiding the depletion of natural resources in order to maintain an ecological balance.
So we need to find sustainable ways to use natural resources. Means we should use them in a way that doesn't use them all up, so future generations can also use them.
Exactly. Our second sentence is a great example. Sustainable agriculture helps protect the soil and water. This means farming in a way that doesn't damage the land over time.
Like rotating crops or reducing chemicals. And a third example, the company focuses on sustainable development for its products.
That means they try to make products using methods that don't harm the environment or use up resources too quickly. So sustainable is about doing things in a way that can continue forever.
Our next word is deforestation. It sounds like something bad happening to forests.
You're right, Roy. Deforestation is the clearing of forests by cutting down or burning trees. It's usually for agriculture, logging, or urban development.
So deforestation is a major cause of climate change and habitat loss. Means cutting down trees makes the earth warmer and destroys animal homes.
Absolutely. Trees absorb carbon, so losing them is a problem. Our second sentence, the Amazon rainforest is experiencing rapid deforestation. This means large areas are being cut down very quickly.
That's very worrying, as it's such an important ecosystem. And the third sentence, governments are trying to stop illegal deforestation.
That's about stopping people from cutting down trees without permission. So deforestation is the large-scale cutting down of trees, which has many negative effects.
Now, we have greenhouse. I know what a greenhouse building is, but how does it relate to the environment?
Well, a greenhouse is a glass building used for growing plants that need protection from cold weather, but it also refers to gases in the atmosphere that trap heat.
So our first example, farmers use a greenhouse to grow vegetables even in cold weather. This is the building keeping plants warm inside.
Exactly. The glass traps the sun's heat. This leads to our second sentence. Carbon dioxide is a major greenhouse gas. Just like the glass, these gases in the atmosphere trap heat.
Ah, I see the connection. And the third example, the greenhouse effect is causing the Earth's temperature to rise?
That's when too many greenhouse gases trap too much heat, making the Earth warmer, which we call global warming or climate change. So greenhouse can be a building or relate to the Earth's warming gases.
Next, endangered. This sounds like something is in danger.
That's right, Roy. Endangered means seriously at risk of extinction. It's often used for animal or plant species.
So the panda is an endangered animal means there aren't many pandas left and they might disappear forever if we don't help them.
Exactly. And that leads to our second sentence. Many efforts are being made to protect endangered species. This includes creating safe habitats or breeding programs.
That's very important work. Now, our third sentence is a bit different. The old building is endangered and might collapse soon.
The here endangered means it's in danger of falling down or being destroyed. So while it's often about animals, it can be used for anything seriously at risk. Very useful word.
Our next word is recycle. This is something we often hear about, isn't it?
Absolutely. Recycle means to convert waste material into reusable material. It's about turning old things into new things.
So we should all recycle plastic bottles and paper means putting them in special bins so they can be made into new bottles and paper, right?
That's it. It helps save resources and reduce waste. Our second sentence is, the city has a new program to recycle food waste. This means turning food scraps into compost for gardens.
That's a great idea. And a third example, this factory recycles old tires into new playground surfaces?
That's a fantastic example of innovation. Old tires are a big waste problem, but recycling them into something new and useful is a win-win. So recycle is all about giving materials a new life.
Next, we have solar. I guess this has something to do with the sun?
You're absolutely right. Solar means relating to or derived from the sun or using energy from the sun.
So our first example, the Earth orbits the sun in our solar system, uses solar to describe our system of planets around the sun.
Yes, solar system is a common phrase. Our second sentence is more about energy. Many houses now use solar panels to generate electricity. These panels capture sunlight.
That's a popular way to get green energy. And the third example, solar power is a clean and renewable energy source.
It's a perfect summary. It's clean because it doesn't create pollution and renewable because the sun will always be there. So solar directly connects to the sun's energy.
Now, let's talk about wildlife.
Wildlife refers to wild animals, especially those living in a natural, undomesticated state. It can also refer to plants, but most commonly it's about animals.
So the national park is home to diverse wildlife, including deer and bears, means you can find many different kinds of wild animals there.
Exactly. Our second example sentence highlights a threat. Oil spills are very harmful to marine wildlife. This means oil in the ocean harms seabirds, fish, and other ocean animals.
That's terrible. And the third sentence, taking photos of wildlife requires patience.
That's very true. Wild animals don't always pose for pictures. You have to wait quietly for them to appear. So, wildlife is the collective term for animals living in nature.
Let's move on to carbon. This sounds like something from chemistry class.
It is. Carbon is a chemical element found in all living things. It's also a key component of greenhouse gases, like carbon dioxide.
So our first sentence, plants absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, means trees and plants breathe in a gas containing carbon.
That's how they grow and help clean the air. Our second sentence is very common in environmental discussions. Reducing our carbon footprint is important for the environment. This means producing less carbon dioxide from our activities.
Like driving less or using less electricity. And for a different meaning, what about diamonds are a pure form of carbon?
That's right. It shows carbon as a basic element that can form different substances, from soft graphite to hard diamonds. So carbon is an element important in both biology and climate.
Next, we have organic. I often see this word on food labels.
You're right, Roy. Organic has several meanings. When it comes to food, it means produced or grown without artificial chemicals, fertilizers, or pesticides.
So she prefers to buy organic vegetables from the local farm means she buys vegetables grown naturally without chemicals.
Exactly. Now, for a different meaning, our second sentence is, the human body is a complex organic system. Here, organic means relating to living organisms or their living processes.
Like how our organs work together. And the third example, the business grew organically over several years without large investments.
Here, organic means naturally and gradually, like a plant growing naturally. It wasn't forced or hurried. So organic can mean natural farming, relating to living things, or natural growth.
Now, let's look at fertile. What does fertile mean?
Fertile primarily means able to produce much fruit, crops, or offspring. It often refers to land or living things.
So the fertile soil in the valley produces excellent crops, means the soil is very good for farming and grows a lot of food.
Precisely. Farmers love fertile land. Our second sentence is about animals. Rabbits are known for being very fertile animals. This means they can have many babies.
That's why there are so many rabbits. In the third example, the artist has a fertile imagination, always coming up with new ideas.
That's a great figurative use. It means her mind is very productive and creative, always producing new ideas, just like fertile soil produces crops. So fertile means productive, whether it's land, animals, or ideas.
Next up is glacier. What is a glacier?
A glacier is a very large mass of ice that moves extremely slowly, often down a mountain valley or on a landmass. They're formed from compacted snow.
So our first example, glaciers are slowly melting due to global warming, means these huge ice masses are shrinking because the Earth is getting warmer.
That's a major environmental concern. Our second sentence is, the explorer hiked across a vast glacier in Alaska. Imagine walking on such a huge sheet of ice.
That sounds incredibly challenging. In the third example, water from melting glaciers contributes to sea level rise.
This means as the glaciers melt, the water flows into the oceans, causing the sea levels to go up, which can affect coastal areas. So a glacier is a massive moving body of ice.
Now, let's talk about ocean. We all know the ocean, but are there other meanings?
Of course. An ocean is a very large expanse of sea, but it can also be used figuratively to mean a very great amount of something.
So the Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean on Earth, is straightforward, meaning the biggest body of salt water.
Yes, vast and deep. Our second sentence addresses a huge problem. Plastic waste is a big problem for the health of our oceans. This affects marine life greatly.
It's truly sad to see, and for the figurative meaning, there's an ocean of information available on the internet.
That means there is an incredibly vast amount of information, almost endless, just like the ocean itself. So ocean can be a body of water or a huge quantity of something.
Next up, rainforest. It sounds like a forest that gets a lot of rain.
That's exactly right, Roy. A rainforest is a dense forest typically found in tropical areas that receives a large amount of rain throughout the year. They are known for their incredible biodiversity.
So, the Amazon rainforest is home to millions of species of plants and animals, highlights its importance for biodiversity.
Absolutely. It's one of the most biodiverse places on Earth. Our second sentence is, many medicines come from plants found in the rainforest. This shows their value to humans.
That's fascinating. We should definitely protect them. And the third example, protecting rainforests helps combat climate change?
Because rainforests absorb huge amounts of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, they act like the Earth's lungs. So rainforests are vital ecosystems with incredible life.
Our next word is wilderness. This makes me think of untouched nature.
Precisely, Roy. A wilderness is a large area of land that has not been developed or used by people, especially one with natural vegetation and animals. It's wild and untamed.
So they spent 2 weeks exploring the Alaskan wilderness means they were in a natural area, far from cities or roads.
Exactly, a true adventure. Our second sentence is, it's important to preserve areas of true wilderness for future generations. This means keeping some places completely natural.
I agree. And the third example, after the party, the room was a complete wilderness of clothes and empty plates.
Here, wilderness is used figuratively to mean a chaotic, messy, or disorganized state, like an untamed jungle of stuff. So, wilderness can be a wild, natural place or a very messy one.
Next, we have biome. This sounds a bit like biology and home combined.
That's a good way to remember it, Roy. A biome is a large, naturally occurring community of flora and fauna occupying a major habitat, e.g., forest or tundra. It's defined by its climate and typical plants.
So the desert is a harsh biome, but many unique animals live there, means the desert is a specific type of environment with its own plants and animals adapted to it.
Yes, like cacti and camels. Our second sentence is, tropical rainforests are one of the most diverse biomes on Earth. This highlights their amazing variety of life.
And that means they have high biodiversity, as we discussed earlier. What about the third example?
Scientists study how different biomes are affected by climate change. They want to know how global warming impacts places like the Arctic tundra or the ocean. So a biome is a major ecological region with its own specific characteristics.
The next word is ozone. I've heard of the ozone layer, but what exactly is ozone?
Ozone is a gas found in the Earth's atmosphere. It's a form of oxygen with 3 atoms instead of 2. It can be good or bad depending on where it is.
So the ozone layer protects Earth from harmful ultraviolet rays. It's about the good ozone, high in the sky, acting like a shield.
Exactly. Without it, life on Earth would be very difficult. Our second sentence, scientists discovered a hole in the ozone layer over Antarctica. This was a serious problem caused by certain chemicals.
And thankfully, efforts were made to fix it. Now, what about the third sentence? Ground level ozone can be a pollutant and harmful to human health.
This is the bad ozone. It's created by pollution closer to the ground and can cause breathing problems. So ozone is a gas, either protective high up or harmful down low.
Next, atmosphere. We just talked about the ozone layer being in the atmosphere, right?
Yes, that's one meaning, Roy. The atmosphere is the envelope of gases surrounding the Earth or another planet. It also refers to the pervading tone or mood of a place, situation, or work of art.
So the Earth's atmosphere contains gases like oxygen and nitrogen, is about the air we breathe, the gases around our planet.
Precisely. And our second sentence is, pollution releases harmful chemicals into the atmosphere. This means the air becomes dirty and unhealthy.
A very serious environmental issue. Now, for the other meaning, the atmosphere at the concert was very exciting.
Here, atmosphere means the feeling or mood of the place. Everyone was happy and excited, creating a great atmosphere. So, atmosphere can be the air around us or the feeling in a place.
Let's move to earthquake. This is a natural disaster, right?
Yes, it is. An earthquake is a sudden and violent shaking of the ground, sometimes causing great destruction as a result of movements within the Earth's crust.
So an earthquake caused severe damage to buildings in the city, means the ground shook so hard that buildings broke.
Sadly, yes. Our second example, Japan often experiences strong earthquakes due to its location. It's built on tectonic plate boundaries.
That explains why they are so prepared for them. And the third sentence, the news of her resignation caused an earthquake in the company.
This is a figurative use. It means her resignation caused a huge, sudden, and disruptive change or shock within the company, like a real earthquake. So earthquake is shaking of the ground or a sudden big change.
Next, volcano. Another powerful natural phenomenon.
Indeed, a volcano is a mountain or hill, typically conical, having a crater or vent through which lava, rock fragments, hot vapor, and gas are or have been erupted from the Earth's crust.
So Mount Fuji is a famous volcano in Japan, refers to that iconic mountain that looks like a cone.
Exactly. Our second example, when a volcano erupts, it can release ash and lava. That's when it explodes and dangerous materials come out.
Very powerful and sometimes destructive. What about the third sentence? His anger was like a volcano ready to explode.
Here, volcano is used to describe someone's intense, dangerous, and almost uncontrollable anger, which might burst out suddenly, just like an erupting volcano. So, volcano is a mountain that erupts, or a symbol of explosive power.
Let's move on to tornado. I picture a strong, spinning wind.
And you're spot on. A tornado is a mobile, destructive vortex of violently rotating winds having the appearance of a funnel-shaped cloud and advancing beneath a large storm system.
So, a powerful tornado swept through the town, destroying many homes, means this spinning wind caused a lot of damage.
Yes, they are incredibly destructive. Our second sentence, tornadoes are common in the central United States. They have a region called Tornado Alley there.
That's why people there have storm shelters. And the third example, the debate turned into a tornado of arguments.
This means the discussion became chaotic and uncontrolled, with many arguments flying around, just like a tornado's destructive movement. So tornado is a destructive spinning wind or a very chaotic situation.
Next, hurricane. This sounds like a much bigger storm than a tornado.
That's right. A hurricane is a storm with a violent wind, in particular a tropical cyclone in the Caribbean. Similar storms in other regions are called typhoons or cyclones.
So a strong hurricane is expected to hit the coast tomorrow, means people on the coast need to prepare for a huge storm.
Exactly. They can be very dangerous. Our second sentence, hurricanes bring heavy rain and strong winds. They cause flooding and damage with their powerful winds.
Absolutely devastating. And the third example, the news caused a hurricane of emotion among the community.
This is a figurative use. It means the news caused a widespread, intense, and overwhelming feeling, like sadness or anger, just like a hurricane is overwhelming. So, hurricane is a massive storm or a sudden, overwhelming feeling.
Let's talk about flood. This is when there's too much water, right?
Yes, that's the main meaning. A flood is an overflow of a large amount of water beyond its normal limits, especially over what is normally dry land. It can also mean a very large amount of something.
So heavy rains caused a flood in the village means the rain made the river overflow and cover the village with water.
That's exactly it. Our second sentence is the basement was flooded after the pipes burst. Here, flooded is the verb meaning water filled the basement.
I've heard of that happening. And the third example, after the concert, a flood of people rushed out.
This is the figurative use. It means a very large number of people came out quickly, like a sudden rush of water. So flood is too much water or a very large quantity of something, whether it's water or people.
Now we have drought. This sounds like the opposite of a flood.
You're right, Roy. A drought is a prolonged period of abnormally low rainfall, leading to a shortage of water. It can also refer to a lack of something else.
So, the region is suffering from a severe drought. Affecting crops means there hasn't been enough rain for a long time, and plants are dying.
Exactly. This leads to problems with food and water supply. Our second sentence, many trees died during the long drought. They couldn't get enough water to survive.
Very sad. And the third example, there's a drought of new ideas in the team?
This is a figurative use. It means there's a serious lack or shortage of new ideas, just like a lack of water. So drought means a long period without rain or a general shortage of something important.
Next, contamination. How is this different from pollution?
Contamination is the action or state of making or being made impure by polluting or poisoning. It often implies something is no longer clean or safe to use, especially in a more localized or specific sense than pollution.
I see. So the factory caused soil contamination in the surrounding area means the soil became unsafe or dirty because of the factory's activities.
Exactly. It became impure. Our second example, there was a risk of contamination if the water wasn't filtered. This means dangerous substances could get into the water.
So the water would no longer be clean. And the third sentence, steps were taken to prevent food contamination in the kitchen.
That means making sure no bacteria or harmful things get into the food, like washing your hands or keeping raw meat separate. So contamination is about making something impure or unsafe, usually by harmful substances.
Our next word is reforestation. This sounds like the opposite of deforestation.
You're absolutely right, Roy. Reforestation is the process of replanting an area with trees, especially one that has been deforested.
So reforestation projects are helping to restore damaged forests, means people are planting new trees to bring the forests back to health.
Precisely. It's a positive step for the environment. Our second example, the government announced a massive reforestation program. This would mean planting millions of trees.
That's an ambitious but necessary plan. And the third sentence, reforestation helps combat climate change by absorbing carbon dioxide.
This is key. As we discussed, trees take in carbon dioxide, so planting more of them helps reduce the greenhouse effect. So reforestation is all about planting trees to bring forests back.
Next, harvest. This word reminds me of farms.
You're right. Harvest means the process or period of gathering in crops. It can also refer to the crop itself or to gather something more generally.
So farmers work hard to harvest their crops in autumn, means they collect all the ready vegetables and fruits from their fields.
Exactly. Our second example, the potato harvest was excellent this year. Here, harvest means the amount of potatoes they collected.
So, a good amount of potatoes. What about the third sentence? Scientists can harvest energy from the sun using solar panels.
This is a figurative use. It means they collect or capture energy from the sun, just like a farmer collects crops. So, harvest is about gathering or collecting, whether it's crops or energy.
Now for extinct. This word sounds very final.
It is. Extinct means no longer in existence. That a species, family, or other larger group has no living members. It can also refer to things no longer in use.
So dinosaurs became extinct millions of years ago means there are no living dinosaurs anymore.
That's right, they vanished. Our second example, the dodo bird, is an example of an extinct species. It was a bird that couldn't fly and lived on an island, but humans hunted it until there were none left.
That's a sad story. In the third sentence, this type of communication is almost extinct in the modern world?
This is a figurative use. It means that particular way of communicating, perhaps like sending letters by post, is almost gone, very rarely used today. So extinct means no longer existing, whether it's a species or a practice.
Next, flora. This sounds like a word for plants.
It is, Roy. Flora refers to the plants of a particular region, habitat, or geological period. It's the collective term for plant life.
So the flora of the rainforest is incredibly diverse, means the rainforest has an amazing variety of plants.
Exactly. Our second example, scientists are studying the local flora to discover new medicines. They hope to find new helpful plants.
That's very important research. In the third sentence, the garden contained both exotic and native flora.
This means the garden had plants from other countries, exotic, as well as plants that naturally grow in that area, native. So flora is just another word for all the plant life in a place.
And now fauna. I bet this is the opposite of flora, so for animals?
You're absolutely correct, Roy. Fauna refers to the animals of a particular region, habitat, or geological period. It's the collective term for animal life.
So the fauna of Australia includes kangaroos and koalas. Means these are some of the animals that live in Australia.
Exactly. Our second example combines both. Protecting the local flora and fauna is a priority for the reserve. This means they protect both the plants and animals.
That makes sense. They are interdependent. And the third sentence, new species of fauna are still being discovered in the deep sea?
That's very exciting. It means scientists are finding new types of animals in the deep parts of the ocean. So fauna is the word for all the animal life in a particular area.
Next, natural. This word feels very common.
It is, Roy. Natural means existing in or derived from nature, not made or caused by humankind. It can also mean inherent or instinctive, or what is normal and expected.
So the park is known for its beautiful natural landscapes, means the mountains, rivers, and trees are all as they are in nature, not built by people.
Precisely. Untouched beauty. Our second example, she has a natural talent for music. This means she's born with it. It comes easily to her.
Like a gift. In the third sentence, it's natural to feel nervous before an exam.
That means it's a normal and expected feeling. Most people feel nervous. So natural can mean from nature, inborn, or normal.
Now, pollutant. This sounds related to pollution.
It is. A pollutant is a substance that pollutes something, especially water or the atmosphere. It's the actual thing that causes pollution.
So sulfur dioxide is a common air pollutant from industrial factories, means this specific chemical makes the air dirty.
Exactly. Our second example, the river was filled with various pollutants, making it unsafe. So different kinds of harmful things were in the water.
Like chemicals or plastic. And a third sentence, governments are working to reduce the emission of harmful pollutants.
That means they are trying to stop or reduce the release of these harmful substances into the air or water. So a pollutant is the specific harmful substance that causes pollution.
Next, temperature. This is about how hot or cold something is, right?
That's correct, Roy. Temperature is the degree or intensity of heat present in a substance or object, especially as expressed according to a comparative scale and shown by a thermometer. It can also refer to body temperature or a fever.
So the temperature dropped sharply last night means it got very cold quickly.
Yes, maybe it even snowed. Our second sentence is common. Please check your body temperature if you feel sick. This is to see if you have a fever.
Very practical advice. And the third example, the high temperature of the oven is needed to bake bread.
That means the oven needs to be very hot to cook the bread properly. So temperature measures how hot or cold something is, whether it's the weather, your body, or an oven.
Now, waterfall. This is a beautiful sight in nature.
It is. A waterfall is a cascade of water falling from a height, formed when a river or stream flows over a precipice or steep incline. It can also refer to a sudden, large flow of something.
So, Niagara Falls is a famous waterfall between the US and Canada, means that huge amount of water falling down.
Exactly. A truly powerful natural wonder. Our second sentence, the hikers enjoyed the beautiful waterfall after a long walk. A refreshing reward after exercise.
Sounds lovely. And the third example, There was a waterfall of tears when she heard the sad news.
This is a figurative use. It means she cried a very large amount of tears, like a steady, continuous flow, similar to a waterfall. So waterfall is falling water or a large continuous flow of something.
Next, mountain, a very familiar word for high places.
Indeed, a mountain is a large natural elevation of the Earth's surface, rising abruptly from the surrounding level. A large, steep hill. It can also mean a very large amount of something.
So Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world, means it's the tallest natural peak on Earth.
Precisely. Our second example, many people enjoy hiking in the mountains. This implies a whole range of hills and peaks.
Like a mountain range. And the third sentence, he faced a mountain of paperwork on his desk.
This is a figurative use. It means he had an extremely large amount of paperwork piled up like a mountain. So mountain can be a high landform or a huge quantity of something.
Now let's talk about river.
A river is a large natural stream of water flowing in a channel to the sea, a lake, or another river. It can also refer to a large flow of something else.
So the Nile is the longest river in Africa, refers to that long flowing body of water.
Yes, very important for the countries it flows through. Our second example, we went fishing in the river near our house. This is a common outdoor activity.
Sounds relaxing. In the third sentence, a river of cars flowed onto the highway during rush hour.
This is a figurative use. It means a continuous large stream of cars, like a river of vehicles. So river is a body of water or a continuous large flow of something.
Next, soil. This is what plants grow in, right?
Yes, precisely. Soil is the upper layer of earth in which plants grow, a black or dark brown mixture of organic remains, clay, and rock particles. It's vital for life.
So good soil is essential for healthy plant growth. Means plants need rich, healthy dirt to grow big and strong.
Exactly. Our second example, the farmer tested the soil before planting new crops. They want to make sure it's good enough for their plants.
That's a smart practice. And a third sentence, the new factory has contaminated the local soil.
This means the factory put harmful substances into the soil, making it unhealthy or dangerous for plants and possibly people. So soil is the earth where plants grow, and it can be affected by pollution.
Now we have climate change. This is a big topic today.
It certainly is. Climate change refers to a long-term shift in global or regional climate patterns, largely attributed to the increased levels of atmospheric carbon dioxide produced by the use of fossil fuels.
So climate change is causing more extreme weather events worldwide. Means we're seeing more intense storms, droughts, and heat waves.
Exactly. Our second example, scientists agree that human activities contribute to climate change. This means things like burning coal and driving cars are part of the problem.
Which is why we need solutions. In the third sentence, addressing climate change requires global cooperation.
That means countries all over the world need to work together to reduce emissions and adapt to the changes. So climate change is the big long-term shift in our planet's weather patterns.
Next up, energy. This sounds like power or strength.
It is. Energy is the strength and vitality required for sustained physical or mental activity, or power derived from the utilization of physical or chemical resources, especially to provide light and heat or to work machines.
So the sun provides us with light and heat energy, means the sun gives us power in the form of light and warmth.
Precisely. Our second example, she has a lot of energy after a good night's sleep. This refers to her physical and mental strength.
We all need that. And the third sentence, The government is investing in renewable energy sources.
This refers to power from sources like solar and wind, which are naturally replenished. So energy can be about power for life or power for machines.
Now, let's discuss waste. This is something we want to avoid.
That's right, Roy. Waste refers to material that is not wanted, the unusable remains or byproducts of something. It can also mean to use or expend carelessly, extravagantly, or to no purpose.
So, reducing plastic waste is important for the oceans means we should produce less unwanted plastic garbage.
Exactly. Our second example, don't waste water when you brush your teeth. This means don't let the water run unnecessarily.
Good advice for conservation. And the third sentence, the project was a complete waste of time and money.
Here, waste means that the time and money were used for no good purpose. They were spent without achieving anything. So waste can be unwanted materials or the act of using something inefficiently.
Finally, we have erosion. What does erosion mean?
Erosion is the process of eroding or being eroded by wind, water, or other natural agents. It means wearing away slowly. It can also be used for non-physical things, like confidence.
So heavy rainfall caused soil erosion on the hillside means the rain washed away the soil from the hill.
Precisely. Our second example, coastal erosion is a serious problem in many parts of the world. This means the land along the sea is being worn away by waves and storms.
That's a big concern for communities near the ocean. And the third sentence, the constant criticism led to an erosion of his confidence.
This is a figurative use. It means his confidence slowly disappeared or was worn away because of all the criticism, just like soil is worn away by water. So erosion is the slow wearing away of something, physically or figuratively.
Wow, Roy, we've covered so many important words related to the natural world, environment, and ecology today.
We certainly have, Lily, from climate and ecosystem to deforestation and biodiversity. These words are essential for understanding our planet and the challenges it faces.
And remember, practicing using these words in different contexts is key. Try writing your own sentences or talking about environmental issues with a friend.
Absolutely. The more you use them, the more natural they'll become. Thanks for joining us for this episode of the IELTS Vocabulary Podcast. We hope you learned a lot.
See you next time and keep practicing your English.